Life presents us with innumerable moments of stress, conflict, and uncertainty. How often do we find ourselves reacting impulsively, acting on the whims of emotions we barely understand? Our modern age, with its fast pace and digital noise, seems to demand more from us each day. Yet, within this whirlwind, there lies a way, a practice that has withstood the test of time, practiced by emperors, slaves, philosophers, and generals. This way is Stoicism. We are not here to passively exist, swayed by fleeting emotions and external circumstances. No, we are here to master our reactions, to find fortitude in adversity, and to transcend our immediate impulses. Today, we explore 10 daily habits that can lead you to control your emotional reactions. These habits, rooted in Stoic philosophy, are not merely practices of the mind, but are ways of being that foster true freedom. Together, we walk this path, one of control, strength, and unyielding will. 1. Morning reflection. Preparing for the day's chaos. Before the sun has fully risen and the world's demands begin to press upon us, we must arm ourselves. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminded himself each morning, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil. This practice of premeditatio malorum, or preparing for the worst, is not an act of pessimism. It's an act of realism. By acknowledging the inevitable challenges of the day, rudeness, setbacks, frustration, we create an emotional buffer. We are no longer blindsided by life's difficulties, and thus, we do not react emotionally to them. Instead, we meet these challenges with composure. Every morning, as we sit in stillness, we remind ourselves that the world is chaotic, and yet, we can remain untouched by its chaos. Reflect on your coming day, anticipate the difficulties, and recognize that nothing external can harm your inner peace unless you allow it. 2. The pause between stimulus and response. Viktor Frankl, although not a Stoic, embodied the Stoic principle when he said, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. This space, this pause, is sacred. When we feel anger, fear, or frustration rising within us, we must not act immediately. A true Stoic knows that immediate reactions are often governed by destructive emotions. Instead, we pause. We breathe. We allow the emotion to wash over us, like a wave crashing on a shore. But like the wave, it subsides. And in the stillness that follows, we choose how to act. This habit of pausing is cultivated through awareness. Throughout the day, remind yourself to slow down. Before reacting to a situation, ask yourself, what part of this is within my control? The answer is always the same, only your reaction. This pause is not an absence of action, but a presence of mind. 3. Daily negative visualization. Embrace the impermanence. We cling. We cling to people, to possessions, to statuses, and even to our emotions. But what happens when we lose what we hold dear? Despair. Stoicism teaches us that everything in life is fleeting. Seneca said, he who has learned how to die has unlearned how to be a slave. He is above all external conditions, above death itself. Every day, spend a few moments in negative visualization. Imagine losing something you hold dear, a loved one, your job, your health. This is not an exercise in morbid thinking, but in freedom. By contemplating loss, we prepare ourselves emotionally for it. We do not take for granted the things we have, but at the same time, we do not let the fear of loss control us. When the inevitable losses come, and they will, you will not be overwhelmed. You will meet them with grace, as a Stoic should, understanding that everything, even life itself, is borrowed, and can be taken away at any moment. 4. Focus on what you control. The core of Stoic philosophy is the dichotomy of control. Epictetus taught us, some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us. Asterisk, how often do we spend emotional energy on things outside our control? We rage at the weather, lament the actions of others, and worry about the future. But none of these things are within our power to change. Each day, remind yourself, asterisk, what is within my control, asterisk your thoughts, your actions, your reactions. These are yours to govern. Everything else, the opinions of others, the outcome of your efforts, the external world, are not yours to control. The more you focus on controlling only what is yours, the more peace you will find. This focus reduces anxiety, frustration, and emotional turmoil. 5. Embrace discomfort. Comfort breeds complacency. A Stoic does not seek out discomfort for its own sake, but they do not shy away from it either. Seneca frequently wrote about voluntarily practicing poverty, fasting, and enduring hardships. He said, "Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" By embracing discomfort, whether it's fasting, cold showers, or enduring physical challenges, we harden ourselves. We remind ourselves that true happiness does not come from external comforts, but from inner strength. This daily habit of stepping into discomfort trains us to withstand life's inevitable hardships with fortitude. 6. Journaling. Reflecting on our actions. Each evening, reflect on your day. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men of his time, used his nights to write his thoughts and reflect on his actions. His asterisk meditations asterisk are a testament to the power of self-reflection. Ask yourself, where did I lose my temper? Where did I fail to live up to my principles? What emotions controlled me today? By honestly assessing our actions, we gain insight into where we need to improve. This habit is not about self-judgment but self-awareness. It is only through understanding our weaknesses that we can strengthen them. 7. Cultivating indifference to external events. One of the most liberating aspects of Stoicism is its teaching on indifference to external events. This doesn't mean apathy, but a recognition that external events, whether good or bad, do not dictate our internal state. Epictetus said, "It is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them." When we encounter challenges, whether it's losing a job, facing a personal insult, or experiencing failure, we remind ourselves that these events are neutral. It is our perception of them that colors them as good or bad. Each day, practice reframing your perceptions. When something doesn't go your way, ask yourself, how else can I see this? By cultivating this indifference, we reclaim power over our emotions. We are no longer puppets to external circumstances, but masters of our inner world. 8. Gratitude. Recognizing the good in every day. Stoicism is often seen as a harsh philosophy, focused on enduring suffering. But at its core, Stoicism also teaches us to recognize the good. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." Every day, practice gratitude. Reflect on the things, big and small, that you are grateful for. This habit shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is abundant. Gratitude, when practiced daily, transforms your emotional state. It fosters contentment, reducing the grip of destructive emotions like envy, anger, and despair. 9. Practice humility. Pride is the enemy of growth. The Stoics constantly reminded themselves of their limitations. Marcus Aurelius, despite being the emperor of Rome, often reflected on his mortality, writing, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Humility is not thinking less of yourself, but recognizing that we are all part of something larger. It is a daily practice of seeing ourselves as we truly are, imperfect, mortal, and constantly learning. Each day, remind yourself, I am no better than anyone else, but I have the power to better myself, This humility tempers our reactions and allows us to approach life with a clearer, calmer mind. 10. Daily acts of kindness. Finally, a Stoic does not live solely for themselves. Epictetus wrote, what is the fruit of these teachings? Only the most beautiful and noble of all the fruits, the spirit of a good man. Each day, practice small acts of kindness. Hold the door for someone, offer a kind word, or simply listen without judgment. These acts remind us that we are part of a greater whole. They shift our focus from ourselves to others, reducing selfish impulses and fostering a sense of connection. Kindness, as small as it may seem, is one of the most powerful ways to cultivate emotional resilience. By giving to others, we gain control over our own emotional state. These 10 habits, daily practice of Stoic principles, promotes emotional control, inner peace, and strength, requiring a lifetime commitment to understanding, mastering, and transcending emotions rather than dominating them. Let us commit ourselves, daily, to these habits. Let us fortify ourselves with the wisdom of those who have walked this path before us. Let us face the chaos of the world with calm, the challenges of life with fortitude, and the fleeting nature of all things with acceptance. In doing so, we will not merely react to life. We will control our reactions, and in controlling our reactions, we will master ourselves.